Hello, everyone, and welcome to Family Time podcast, a podcast where everyone is family. You're very welcome to join. Today, we're going to talk about a very special topic, and I brought a guest with me. Here is Jen, my best friend, and we're going to introduce you to the topic of I want to start, but I don't know how. Hello, Jen. How have you been?
Hello. I've been doing good. How have you been?
Yeah, could be better, to be honest.
Oh, you could be
But
better?
yeah, I'm a little bit tired. So,
Oh gosh. You didn't get enough sleep?
yeah, exactly. I got a lot of things to do, so I couldn't take a lot of breaks.
Oh, I see. Well, I hope you get enough rest soon. I
Yeah,
understand
thank
though.
you. Thank you. Since our listeners don't know much about us, we should introduce ourselves if you agree.
Sure thing. All right. Well, I am Jen. I am Millie's best friend. And I am also a content creator, mostly on Twitch. So I'm mostly a streamer. And my username for my content creation is Genosaurus.
Thank you for introducing yourself, Jen. And as you can see, she is doing great. And
Oh,
you should
thank you.
definitely check, yeah, you should definitely check her out. Um, anyway, when it comes to me, when it comes to me, my name is Millytza, but people call me Millie, and I will introduce myself as Millie in that case. Anyway, I have to apologize for my throat, just in case anyone is interested in why I'm
It's
sounding this
okay.
way.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, as I said, my name is Millie, and I'm a content creator, but in the whole other category. I'm doing YouTube. I'm making
Mhm.
YouTube videos, and since recently, I started making content for TikTok. Can you tell us more about your journey as a content creator?
Sure thing. So I started back in January 14th, if I remember right. I started on my streaming journey, and that was
Mhm.
also the day that I put out my very first stream, and that was very interesting
Yeah.
because, well, I mean, you start somewhere, and it was a little bit awkward. I wasn't very knowledgeable about everything in regards to streaming, I suppose. And I was also very shy. I was very quiet. So I can see definitely from that start of my journey that I changed a lot. And it's really cool to look back. But yeah, so I started on Twitch. I've been streaming for, well, 3 months now. And in the meantime, I've also, ever since like, I think a month ago or 2 months ago, I've been also starting to be active on other platforms, especially on YouTube. I have two YouTube channels. I am also putting out TikToks right now. I've been active on Twitter, and well, everything combines and comes back to my Twitch streams.
Your journey was such a great thing to follow since I was there at the beginning,
Yeah, you were
and
there at the
you've
very
grown so
start.
much. Yeah, you've grown so much. I'm proud of you.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's been very it's mind blowing. Honestly, it still is. Just the amount of growth I have had in this short amount of time. I even right now, as we speak right now, I saw that I got my 200th follower on Twitch as well. So that's
Yes,
that's amazing.
congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. But yeah, that's it's definitely been a cool journey, and I love every second of it. It's been amazing, and with all the amount of things that you can do, all the amazing people that you meet along the way, and even collab with, and just generally make friends with, it's been great. Yeah, I loved it. That's basically what I've been up to, I guess, the past 4 months. I've been very busy with stream stuff, but yeah, like I said, I love every second of it.
Yes, and you can see that when you stream. Every time I join, when my time, schedule, when my schedule is not that tight, I can see how you enjoy it and how people can see that radiates through you.
Oh well,
Yeah,
I'm glad about that because I do genuinely enjoy it, and it's fun to hear that too from like on the other side, right? As a viewer. But yeah, no, that makes me happy. That
yes,
puts a
yeah,
smile on my face. I'm
yeah.
glad you
I'm
can
very
tell
glad.
I'm enjoying.
Yeah, it's very visible, and I think a lot of people are attracted to your energy as well because of your, genuine expression of emotions and love for the streaming.
Right. Well, I hope to obviously also well radiate that because I do genuinely enjoy it. So I'm glad to hear that this is also coming off to viewers. And yeah,
Yeah, you're
exactly.
doing a great job, definitely.
Thank you.
Yes, and we also started at pretty similar time, but we had so different journeys, and we still
Right.
still go through,
Tell us more about your
different.
journey.
Yeah, my journey started, as I said, at a similar time as you. I
Hmm.
think it was 23rd of January, actually. And soon it's gonna be 3 months since I started, actually.
Mm.
And it's been such a challenging journey personally because I started at a time where I didn't know what I want to do with my life. And
Hmm.
I had to, take a break due to some circumstances. And I thought, what can I do to make my life more, full and do something that I enjoy? And I realized I wanted to do YouTube since I've always wanted to create content and make my voice be heard. And so I did. And
Oh, you did.
the, yeah, I think it's such a slow change. The change is slow. The improvement is very, very slow. But as you go through the videos I created, I think you can see the difference from the first video and the last video. There is
Oh
so much,
yes.
yeah. And
Yes.
not only quality, like video quality, camera quality, mic quality, and everything, but also the way I express myself. I think I'm more comfortable now. So, yes,
Right.
definitely, it's been quite a journey on
Well,
my
just
end,
like
too.
just like you have been there ever since my stream and when my journey began. I've also been an avid supporter, of course, of your channel and everything that you do. And I honestly, I do agree. I definitely do see a change in regards to your very first videos and your last ones. And it does look like you look more comfortable. And I think in general, it's great to listen to what you have to say. And I've always been very entertained by your videos. But yeah,
Oh,
it really
thank you.
shines through that. But yeah, I think it really shines through that you are more comfortable, and it's really fun to see. And I'm glad also for that. So in that sense, I'm also very proud of you.
Thank you very much. Yes, as you noticed, I am more comfortable, and that's something I always strive to do to become more relaxed because I'm very anxious in general,
Hmm.
and especially when you have to put yourself out and people are gonna watch and people are
Hmm.
gonna see that you're more tense. And I'm working on that because I'm a big introvert and I'm very anxious, and
Yeah.
social anxiety is a
I,
big thing.
I
Yeah.
totally relate with you on that. It's a very scary thing in a sense to I think start with anything that relates to content creation where you're putting yourself out there and let your voice be heard like how you said it before as well. And it's definitely something as well for introverts. And if if you have social anxiety, I can completely relate with you on that. But yeah, it does add up, and it's a scary step. But we both took it, and honestly, I'm glad
Yeah.
we did. And I think it's really
Yeah.
cool too that we managed to not let that get in the way of our journey and what we wanted to do.
Yes, exactly. And I think we improved our skills that way a lot in
Yeah,
communication and also the way we present ourselves.
yeah,
So
exactly.
both of us became more relaxed.
For
eventually,
sure.
and it's not as scary as it was the first time.
No, I
So yeah,
totally agree. 'Cause, yeah,
yeah. What do
we can both see that we're more comfortable, and that I think that has a lot to do also with the fact that we are feeling more okay with knowing that there's people watching us, or even interacting with us. Like if you see a comment like on YouTube, it's like, oh my god, they watched my video. But then, especially at first, I can understand too how that's like, ooh, it's a little scary. But
yeah,
as time goes by, I think it just better than it making you feel some type of like nervousness or anxiety. It's more like it changed into, oh, this is so cool that someone watched me and like watched my entire video or my entire stream and stuff. And I think that's really cool.
yeah, it is, and it's also very rewarding. And I think when you see that people are there to support you, it gives you this courage you didn't know existed in the first place. So you
Right.
just want to create more, you want to show up for those people, not just for yourself. Because
Mm-hmm.
when you started, you just did it for yourself and you keep doing it for yourself. But when there are people who show up and they are now your supporters and they want to follow your journey, you want to do it for them too. So that's a
Yeah,
great thing.
exactly. No, I totally agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you think helped you realize that streaming is something you want to pursue? Is there any special moment that made you want to do
Hmm.
streaming?
Well, I also started streaming. I actually, just like you as well, that there was a part of me, like I am free right now. I graduated. I don't have a job yet. So I'm basically taking a year off. And in that year, I also wanted to find myself basically and know what I want to do in the future. And there's multiple reasons as to why I started streaming. But basically, what I why I wanted to do it was, first of all, to improve myself socially, because, well, social anxiety and all that stuff. And I
Yeah.
thought that would be a good opportunity. Then there was also obviously being able to meet other people, making friends, and all of that. And on top of that, I've seen other people stream and it seemed really fun, which is why I eventually also wanted to do it myself. And as I was doing it, well, that was a point, of course, where I realized, like, hey, I want to keep on doing this because I'm just having so much fun. And I do think it mostly comes from the community that you are able to create, because, like we talked about before, when you see someone else saying
Yeah.
something about your video, or who comes into chat and just talks with you, it's like, hey, they're enjoying what I'm doing, and I could have, in that sense, a type of positive influence, like make someone's day better, or just generally being entertaining. And I think that feeling is very rewarding, and it makes me want to keep on streaming as well, aside from the fact that I generally just enjoy the entire concept of it, of playing a game and then having like all your friends be there. So yeah, I'd say there's a lot of factors that contribute to me wanting to keep on streaming, but most of it is literally just the community and the people who are there with you along the way and who chat with you. And yeah, like I
Yeah.
said, that I think that's very rewarding, and it makes me feel motivated as well to keep on doing what I'm doing. And yeah, that's basically why.
Absolutely. I
What about you?
absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, the moment I realized this is something I want to do is exactly when I started it, to be honest. Because as I as I said, I wanted to start creating content way before I even thought for real to start it. And it was in high school actually. So when I started, I already knew I wanted to pursue it, but I didn't know what kind of challenges I would face along the way. And
Hmm.
now that I'm still, pursuing the thing, I feel so I feel so good, and I can see that it was the right choice. And it made me realize that I don't have to just pick one thing and do just that, that I can also do multiple things. And I think
Hmm.
it gives me this platform where I can express myself, speak up, and give other people voices. and give them the opportunity to speak up, which led me to,
Right.
start the podcast and bring guests possibly.
Well, I always like hearing about someone else's journey in that sense and why they're doing what they're doing.
So basically what you said, I agree with that completely. The community that exists gives
Hmm.
you even more, motivation to continue. So there
Yeah.
isn't one specific moment that you realize, like, this is what I want to do. It just um, this accumulation of small moments and
Yeah.
the reason why you've started in the first place.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, it just gets more stronger as you continue doing it. And speaking of just pursuing our goals, what do you think helped you the most in setting your goals?
Okay, well, that's a that's a good question because in all honesty, when I went into streaming, I didn't really have a specific kind of goal aside from mostly me just improving myself in terms of talking, basically. So I didn't really have a goal in that sense, but along the way, I did gain, I guess you could call it a goal, but more like I guess the desire, I suppose you could call it, that I'd love to be able to keep on streaming for a very very long time, and to possibly even make it something that I could do, like, on the side, as if it's like a part-time quote unquote job. Like, I would absolutely love that. And I guess that's what my goal at some point became. Okay. Basically, there's not something that has specifically helped me set up the goals that I have. It's more a thing that there's multiple factors that make me keep on working towards my goals. Like, just then we come back again to the whole community thing, where, for example, positive feedback or just knowing that there's people out there who genuinely enjoy my content, they make me want to keep on working harder, and they motivate me to work towards my goals, because apparently it seems that there's also honestly people enjoying my content, and that is also a thing as to why I love to stream. So it
Yes.
basically comes down to that.
Yeah, that's a great explanation. Yes, I agree that you don't have to like have anything specific that helped you in setting your goals. For me personally, what helped me set my goals, as you said, it just appeared in the first for the first
Mhm.
time when it appeared. It was just like that. That's my goal and that's it. But now, as the time goes by, I can see the feedback from people and I set new goals for me. But I don't think um, without that feedback, I don't think that there would be um, the same, goal when I first started. Like when I first started, I had some goals I wanted to achieve, but right
Mhm.
now, I don't think I'm changing them much. And maybe some goals are different; they're taking a different shape, but it's not something particular that helps shaping those
Uh,
goals. So yeah, I think it's just spontaneous and you
yeah.
just try things out and it just becomes more clear as you do the thing you do.
Right. Right.
What do you think is the most frustrating thing when you have to take some specific steps in achieving your goals? In case
What's
in
the
case you have a clear goal. For example, you wanted to start streaming. So what do you think is the most frustrating thing when you need to take particular steps to get there?
Okay. So for me, wanting to continue on streaming and still being a small streamer, what I guess you could say is a frustrating part is, because I am small, it's harder to get noticed and be put out there for others to see. Because despite the big growth, if I can say that so myself, I do think that it is still a general fact that when you're a smaller creator or smaller content creator, you just have a harder time finding new people and showing why those other people should basically like care about you, quote unquote. And I think that could be very frustrating because those people also obviously they need to give you a chance. They would need to click on your thumbnail and be interested enough in you to stay. And that could be a very difficult part, which I guess you could translate into being a frustrating thing in order to, in this case, achieve my streaming goal.
Yes, absolutely. I absolutely agree. The competition is really crazy.
Yeah, a
And
lot of
the
competitors out there.
Yes, definitely. And not only that, but the algorithm everywhere favors
Hmm.
major streamers, major YouTubers. And when you're
Yeah,
so small, you can't get noticed easily. So you have to put a lot of effort
yeah.
uh, in in that and to achieve the same, results. And you won't get the same results because guess what? They allow major people. So
Yeah,
yes, definitely.
yeah,
It's very
absolutely.
hard to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest struggle a new content creator could face is definitely
Yeah.
being put out there for others to see, instead of well the big competitors that are right right next to you. So yeah, that's a difficult thing.
Yeah, that's very frustrating. But also for me personally, it's also trying to do everything perfectly. And
Hmm.
the thing of postponing the thing you want to do because you're not ready enough, I think that's the most frustrating thing because you're just trying to sabotage yourself before even starting and trying to do everything perfectly. That's impossible. And
Do you
it's
mean with
very
postponing
frustrating.
stuff, not working on it because you're too perfectionist in that sense? To you want to keep on working on it and make it perfect, but then you realize it takes up too much time. Is that what you mean with postponing it?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Ah.
Like with my videos, I was so, I tried too hard, and I wanted to make things perfect. And it took a lot of my energy. And in the end, when
Mm.
I don't think about it too much and let it flow, it turns out way better than me
Right.
focusing on every single
Hmm.
detail.
Yeah.
So
No, I
yeah,
can.
that's definitely related.
No, I can totally understand that part too of being a perfectionist, because I've had that too. I do feel like I'm well. I still have it, but I do think I'm starting to slightly let it go at least. But that would have definitely been a bigger issue, yeah. In the I guess in the past, and with the past, I mean a couple weeks ago.
Yes, definitely. You see how we've grown? We improved so much.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, don't let your perfectionism sabotage your progress. I'm all
Exactly.
in. I'm all in, definitely. And speaking of that and sabotaging yourself and being lost in life in general, do you have any advice for people who don't know what they want to do in life yet?
Hmm. All right. Well, I was in the exact same boat where I was like, what am I going to do with my life? I think everyone has been there at some point, and it can be very hard to find that exact thing that you're passionate about. Because I've had that before I started streaming. I've had that too, where I was like, yeah, I guess I kind of know what I want to do. And then I thought more in terms of working. But the advice that I would give to someone who doesn't know what they're doing in life yet or what they want to achieve, I think what a good thing is to do if you are struggling with that, which I bet I think a lot of people struggle with that at some point in life. But I think it's a good thing to first just look at your interests, like what do you like to do in your free time, stuff like that, and trying out a lot of those different things can lead you to eventually finding your passion, because it has for me as a good example. For me, I didn't think that I would end up streaming sometime, which is a thing obviously that I'm very passionate about right now. But it happened because, well, first of all, I love gaming. It's something that's been my hobby for years and years, and I guess that could have been like the push that made me eventually start streaming. So I think my advice would mostly just to try out a lot of different things and see where your interests lay and what eventually you could call your passion.
Yes, I wanted to say the same thing. You just try things out and see what you're interested in and what you like. And if nothing comes out of it, then it's okay too. Maybe your life purpose is to live just just to live relaxing and calming life in general, and just do something that is, okay to you. It doesn't have to be like this very passionate thing where you work so hard and, I don't know,
Mm.
pursue very big goals. And it's okay to not to have those big goals and ambitions. You can also have just an ambition to live a peaceful life and to lead a peaceful and calming life for yourself. So maybe your goal in life isn't to find a job that you're going to be very passionate about. Maybe
Mm.
your goal can be having a family, or just, you know, getting into spiritual practice. I don't know what people do. But yes, you don't need to have this big purpose in life to
Yeah.
be appreciated. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I agree
just
with that as well, for sure.
yeah, just be spontaneous, try things out, and it's okay. You don't have to just follow everyone and what they're doing if it's not something you're interested in. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. No, I wholeheartedly agree with that, for sure.
And the next question we have here is pretty similar to the previous one. What advice would you give to someone pursuing the same thing as you?
Well, on that note, I think my advice would definitely be to just keep on going, even if you think that you're not growing, even as like because you're a small streamer and you're not immediately seeing results. I would just give the advice to just keep doing your own thing and not let numbers bring you down. I think that is a very big thing when it could come to streaming, is that you focus a lot on numbers. I did that as well, especially at the start. I would be like, why am I stuck at one viewer? Why do I not have any viewers? Stuff like that. And it can really weigh you down when it doesn't have to. Like it definitely, in that note as well, I think it would be a very good idea to just turn off everything regarding the viewer count and everything, and like I said, just keep on doing your own thing and just have fun. Having fun is the most important thing that, well, when it comes to
I
streaming.
I couldn't agree
So,
more
yeah.
on that
So,
note.
yeah. So if you're not having fun, then maybe streaming also just, isn't for you, or you're letting the numbers weigh down on you, or just anything else that can have to do with losing motivation and stuff. But yeah, my advice is just to keep on going, and you got this.
Yay, you can do it.
You can
You
do
can
it.
do it. Yes, definitely. And I agree, I absolutely agree on that. And also, what I wanted to say, besides what you said already, is that maybe you should change some things up. Maybe you're stuck in your own ways, as I was with TikTok. Thank you, Jen. Yeah, I was very fun story. I was very stubborn. I didn't want to try it out.
Hmm.
And I think maybe just trying to change things up can bring you a lot of positive improvements in your YouTube videos or streaming or whatever. So trying to resist change is not good. You should always strive to be open-minded, and if you try things out, you can then say that it's not for you. So trying to be authentic and also open-minded, I know it's hard, but give it a try and see how it goes from that
Hmm.
point.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. Yeah, I think that's very good advice.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I hope it helps someone, definitely. What's the biggest challenge you've encountered so far? Yes, I definitely think the same about my journey. I think it's one of the biggest challenges to not focus so much on the numbers, not
Mm,
just like subscribers or followers, but the views, especially the views,
yeah. Hmm.
where you can see you do the similar content as someone else and they get a ton of views, even though their video quality maybe is not as great as yours, or maybe you said some things that are very, important and that you haven't seen anywhere else. And you have like 10 views or 20 views, and it brings you this like negative feeling that you're not enough, that you're doing something wrong. But
Yeah.
it couldn't be further from the truth. And I think it goes hand in hand with anxiety in general. For me personally,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
very anxious, as I said. So putting myself out there and expecting negative feedback every single time,
Oh.
that's
Oh God.
something that
Mm.
you need to deal with. But as you said, you quickly get over it and you deal with
Mm.
it. So I think things are better now, although I still do struggle with being focused on views and
Hmm.
such, but it's gotten a bit better, I would say.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, I think that's a normal thing to at least look at them, like look at the viewer count or anything else. But yeah, it's a
Yeah.
different story when it affects you so much, like mentally, and really puts you in that position where you're just full of anxiety and think that you're the reason why it's not doing well or that there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, that anxiety is what actually prevents people from trying things they want to do. And I'm glad
Hmm.
if someone out there is gaining some courage from this podcast to try even though they're not ready, because even though you don't know where to start or how to start, just pick one small thing you can do in pursuing your goal and
Hmm.
try to do it. And you know what? You're doing great already. And I hope you'll be able to battle your demons, so to speak.
The inner demons.
Yeah, the inner demons, of course. And definitely, when it comes to anxiety and everything, sometimes you just feel stuck and don't know how to progress forward. And you don't know what kind of content you want to pursue at the moment, and you feel no motivation. So it happens to all of us. Do you have anything, any like practices you do to unstuck yourself when you have no motivation whatsoever?
Mm. That's a good question. I don't find myself being stuck that much because I don't have a lot of motivation. But you can definitely blame me on uh, procrastinating some things that I should be working on. Like especially because I have recently started taking my YouTube and my TikTok more serious. It is something that requires a lot of work and time in general to come up with, the content that you produce. And sometimes I think it is something that could make me feel stuck for a moment because, for example, I haven't done enough research on like, what hashtags you use or just
Yeah.
how you make a good thumbnail, stuff like that. Um, but my motivation, at least definitely when it comes to just anything I do really for my streaming journey, which is also TikTok and YouTube, I think of I think of my entire journey and what I've all been able to achieve and all these lovely people who have been there along the way to help me. And who I know enjoy watching my content and everything. And that does give me a lot of motivation to keep working at it, because it feels like what I'm doing has some type of worth. Like it's not something worthless, like, oh, nobody's gonna watch it. It feels like there's, because of the community that I've been able to build, it does feel like I actually mean something to these people. And therefore, I should keep going on it and not procrastinate anymore, and just, yeah, keep at it, really. But yeah, my community is the thing that mostly really motivates me, if not fully, honestly. And also, of
Yeah.
course, the love that I have for streaming on itself. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's
that
a
does help
great
me,
thing. Yeah.
because
I
I
can
keep
see
thinking
how it
back
can
of
be.
why I started too, and why I'm still here doing this. And that also gives me motivation. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I can see how that helps motivating you, especially because it's in the nature of what you're doing, actually. In streaming, you have a lot of people who chat with you, and
Hmm.
also since you have a Discord server, a lot of people can connect with you that way, and it
Right.
keeps you more motivated. Yeah, definitely. It's more
Yeah.
personal that way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. For me personally, I don't have that very straightforward communication with people who support me, and how to
Mm.
say that. Yes, we do communicate on various social platforms such as Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, of course,
Mhm.
YouTube, because it's the main thing I do. But it's
Mhm.
not, you know, so straightforward, and you don't have that live action communication. So
Mhm.
seeing that feedback in that sense, it's non-existent basically. So yes, definitely, good comments motivate me too. But what motivates me to unstuck myself when I have no motivation is actually seeing why I don't have any motivation. Why do I feel stuck on this? And usually it's because I've overworked myself to the point I have no energy. So
Mm.
definitely, usually it's taking a break and doing something else, spending time with family and friends and watching anime and reading.
Mhm.
And that gives
Of
me
course.
more energy to realize that I have this purpose I want to fulfill, and that there are people who are very happy to see what I do. And that just helps me see the reason why I started and see how it helps me just fulfill my role in this world in general. So,
Mhm.
yeah, definitely taking a break is a big thing for me because I tend
Yeah.
to overwork myself basically all the time.
It's good to take a break every now and then, for sure.
Yeah, and that motivates you definitely
Mhm.
when you have energy to spare. That's very important, and it's one of the three things I actually listed as the most meaningful things I learned during my journey. Yeah,
It is very
definitely.
meaningful, though, I will say.
Yeah. So I'll say what I listed as the meaningful things, and we
Mhm.
can get to what you listed.
All right.
Uh, yeah, as I said, the most meaningful thing is taking a break is really important. And
Mhm.
I can't stress this enough, especially when you're a perfectionist and you tend to overwork yourself constantly and forget that you're human and that you need energy and that you need to recuperate, actually. So, yeah,
Mhm.
taking a break is very important. And yeah, you should have free days and you should have free time every single day. That's the first thing. And the second thing is being authentic and also trying to follow your own path and not what society thinks you should follow. It's really hard to balance that too. And I think it's very challenging, but it's very meaningful to me.
Hmm.
because I want to follow my own path and not what everyone says I should be doing.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
I'm trying to sing my own song and dance to it, of course. And the
Of
final
course.
one is definitely never forget why you started, who you are, and who you aspire to be. I think
Hmm.
that's very important
Yeah, for
because,
sure. I agree with that. Yeah.
yeah, you should never forget the reason why you started in the first place. So you should never forget about your past, about who you are, how it got you there, and how it will get you to where you want to be.
Yeah.
Focusing on both, on all the three things: past, your present, and your future, and just remembering who you really are, remembering your name, as we can see in Spirited Away. Never forget your name. That's what's meaningful in this journey, definitely.
Yeah.
What
I
about
agree
you?
with all those. Yeah, for me, the three most meaningful things, I would actually say that your first meaningful thing about taking breaks is also, for me, one of them, because, like you said,
Mm,
it is very important, and I'm a person who works too much to the point it's like overworking, and it is very, through this journey I have learned that it really is beneficial to just take a break, and you don't need to work as much as like I personally do. And in taking breaks it's good to just find yourself back as well. And yeah, basically that. And
mm,
on that note, also what I think has been a very meaningful thing is I learned to just, through streaming, to just enjoy what you do and don't stress it too much, because I am also a person who would put so much pressure on myself to, let's say, be perfectionistic and to focus too much on the tiny details, when in reality sometimes it really doesn't matter. It's like when I
yeah,
go over and review my video 20 times to see if I pronounce something right, for example, or just looked all right in terms of my model, not freaking
yeah,
out, something like that. It's a lot of small things. And I really think that I personally, for me, been a good lesson to just not stress too much. Just do what you enjoy. Just go with the flow. And generally,
yay,
also, obviously, a good thing to not stress yourself out.
definitely. Couldn't agree more.
Right. Something else that I have learned through my journey, which I think is very important, is literally to just be yourself. Like that's all you can be. You can just be yourself, and to accept who you are as well. If I think is a very important part, and that is something that I have learned through my journey as well, and I'm still doing. I'm still, I mean, personally, I have been also in a period of time where I wasn't really feeling basically great with myself in terms of
Yeah,
acceptance of who I am and stuff like that. And through my journey, I will say that I feel like, well, obviously it is very important to just be yourself and to accept who you are, but I've definitely learned through that to also just, accept myself, and it's definitely helped me with that as well.
yes, definitely. That's a very lovely thing you said on that. You said it perfectly.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, yes. What's the biggest takeaway you want listeners to get from this episode?
And so that also applies to you in case you're doing anything with content creation or just finding out what it is that you want to do in your life.
You said it well, and I definitely agree on all of that you said. I want to say that the biggest takeaway is that you should create your own journey and your own path according to who you are and make an individualized approach just as you would give an advice to your friend. according to who they are and what their interests are. So I would say just take what resonates with you from this whole story and apply it in your life. And I hope you'll have a lot of luck in that and that you will find what you seek. Good luck, definitely. Good luck. You can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any last thoughts or advice you would like to give, Jen?
Um, just honestly, just have fun and do whatever you like. That's honestly, I think, the best last thing I can say after all we've talked about. Just do whatever you want and enjoy your life. Yeah. And also good luck.
Definitely good luck. As I said, I I say definitely a lot, I notice. Um, yeah, just do your own thing and don't listen to other people too much. Just listen to your own heart.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. For sure.
Yeah, before we head out and finish this lovely podcast, how can listeners connect with you? Where can they find you?
All right. Well, for me, obviously, like I said before, I'm a streamer. So you can find me on Twitch. As my like I said before, my username is Genosaurus with two underscores. And well, you can find me with the same username on YouTube, on TikTok, on Twitter. And I also have a Discord server. However, I don't think I can say the link to it right now, so I don't know
Yeah,
how to
that
do that one.
that would be weird.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm mostly just active on all of those, and yeah, that's how you can
Yeah,
connect to me.
yeah. Follow her on every platform if you're interested, but also if you're not interested. Yeah, definitely. You should follow Jan. Her energy is everything. And for
Thank
myself,
you.
of course, you should follow me too.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, yeah, only if you want to, of course. And you can find me on every single platform there is. You can find me on YouTube, of course, on YouTube.
Of course.
I have Twitter, I have TikTok, I have Instagram, and the username is the same everywhere. It's Milly with TZA and underscore, usually on every platform, aside from YouTube, where it's without the underscore. But anyway, I will just put all of our social media somewhere in the description or something so you can find it easily. But all of
Awesome.
you, yeah, yeah. But I wanted to have like this audio too, in case you're not very, interested in trying to hunt for the links. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, Jan, for wanting to be a part of this podcast.
Well, thank you
It,
so much for having me. I had a lot of fun.
yes, me too.
Thank you
And I
so much.
find this so meaningful, to be
Yeah,
honest.
me too.
And
I
I've
enjoyed
learned
talking
so
about
much.
this.
Yeah, I've learned so much, definitely. And
Me
I
too.
hope, yes, and I hope other people learned something too. Thank you for listening today and
Goodbye.
goodbye.